Welcome everyone to another top 10. I'm Old School Gamer 1971. Millie, Lloyd, everyone, hope you're all having a great day. Before we begin, if you enjoy this video, please like, comment and share. Check out my channel and subscribe. It helps the channel grow and puts a big old smile on this old face. Today's top 10 is franchises that need a reboot 2020. These are franchises that I think need to start again from the get-go. That is not to say they were bad games per se. In fact, if they were just crap, they would not be on this list at all. They've shown promise or have been forgotten, and I think they deserve another shot. Some of these didn't sell well as they came out around the time of the PlayStation 4 launch. Others were just not marketed right. Now with the PlayStation 5 ever looming closer, now is the time that companies will look at franchises past and present to maybe relaunch them again for a new generation. With such a step up in technology, I think these are the games that with a new lick of paint could become the games that they were always destined to be. So let's raise a glass and hope that these games all get the nod. My number 10, Dead Rising. I love me some zombie killing open world goodness. Originating on the Xbox 360, finally getting a port to the PlayStation 4. It was a really good game and very much tongue in cheek, which I do believe should be carried over. However, to a degree, I agree with some people that the game has run its course as it once was. What it needs is to come back bigger and better, retelling the story but redesigned from the ground up. Look at Resident Evil 2 Remake and think of what they could do with the Dead Rising franchise. Moving on to number 9, Dead Island. I think there was only really one blaring problem with the game. At the time, it was always going to be impossible for this game to live up to the hype created by the original trailer. Yes, the game had its problems, but I have played games with a lot worse problems than this game. But it was how good Dying Light was when compared to Dead Island. I think the technology will be there with the PlayStation 5 to finally make the Dead Island game be the game that we all wished it to be back when we watched that original trailer. Number 8, Fallout. This has not really been a good year for Fallout fans. Greed has been the word of the year, that and unfulfilled promises. Now I have seen that they're about to remake the original game, but I think with the advent of the new consoles, they should just start again, but have subsequent games set in the same universe with a proper timeline. But before all of that, they need a new game engine. The old one is just broken, it is old, and being honest, how long has it been around now? You know it makes sense. My number 7, Clock Tower. As one of my favourite series, the first and second game were point and click adventures. However, it was the third game that was the pinnacle of the series for me. The game you are looking at right now owes so much to Clock Tower 3. Its mechanics are about the same. This has been away for far too long. But survival horror is selling well, and this could be exactly what the Doctor ordered. The last time a game in the series was released was the PlayStation 2, so come on, show us what a PlayStation 5 version could be. Number 6, Jak and Daxter. This was part of Naughty Dog's journey to becoming probably Sony's greatest in-house developer. I always felt that this was a fantastic series and have always been hopeful of more of this series. This was their best work until Uncharted. The one thing I do not want is realistic graphics, which they were looking at doing at one point. Make this look fantastical instead, bring it up to date and open world at that. This series never really had a bad entry, it's just been forgotten about. We need more Jak and Daxter. Number 5, Dark Cloud. The first game released by Level 5 for Sony, and yet again the series was abandoned by Level 5 after Dark Chronicle. For me, this game, with all the technological advancements that has happened since, this could be amazing. It's the rebuilding of the village that to me made the original something new. This could be advanced and made so much more better, but more than that, Level 5 have shown with their later games that they can create some amazing worlds, and I think it could be a series that has legs. My number 4, Murdered Soul Suspect. The game didn't have much of a chance the first time round. It came along at the transitional time between the PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 4. Adding that it was held back by it releasing for the PlayStation 3 as well as the PlayStation 4. PlayStation 4, which was the better version by the way, didn't really have the install base to make an impact in sales. However, an open world game whodunit, where you have to solve your own murder, set in the capital of witches, Salem, most definitely haunted as well. When it is on sale, it is well worth it, but how about a remake instead that takes full advantage of being a game for the next generation solely, pun intended. Moving on to number 3, Shining in the Darkness. For those who do not know, this was a game for the Mega Drive / Genesis. This was one of the first role-playing games I ever played. I only played Final Fantasy before this for the NES. This was a first-person dungeon crawler, and yes, it was a little bit repetitive, but games such as Wizardry borrow heavily from this game. Today it may feel a little cliched, but back then this was all new. But like Warsong, which is getting a remake this year, Langrisser, this too could be brought back to, and with a little work, could be the start of something new. And my penultimate entry, Alan Wake. For a while this was a multi-platform game before release, then it was an Xbox exclusive. Recently, Remedy stepped away from Microsoft and even owned the rights to Alan Wake. So I would like them to reboot the series for the PlayStation 4, or even better, the PlayStation 5. This was one of the few games that has given me the green-eyed monster. I think now would be the perfect time to remake this game for a new audience. Being their own boss now, they could make the game that they've always wanted to make. Well, they are until it is formally announced that they are a new Sony studio. Fingers crossed. And my number 1, Infamous. This was such a great game for the PlayStation 3. It really was trying so hard to make something all new, and it did succeed. But I feel like they could do so much more now. If you look at the size of the maps of say Grand Theft Auto 5 or Spider-Man, I can only imagine what they could come up with now. For me, I would love to see this redone from the get-go with a larger map and maybe even create your own hero / villain. A few more powers. For me, this played so well and certainly doesn't deserve to get forgotten. What you are looking at here was an early on in the PlayStation 4 lifecycle game. Imagine what it would be like now. And it's done. I hope you all enjoyed this top 10. There is plenty more content like this on my channel. Check it out, and if you would, spread the word. Leave any suggestions down below in the comments. Enjoy your day one and all. Old School Gamer 1971 signing off.